We are
built
live, baby.
Ford. Tough.
It's a tough week.
Tough,
for Ford.
tough
year.
tough day for Ford.
Yeah. Not looking great. They said they're going to be able to weather through it. So
I think they will.
I mean, with a big company like that, like all right, an extra $1 billion, they could probably make it work. But it's like,
Yeah, when you are supposed to make $3 billion in the quarter and you're only going to turn in 1.5, I think that's a little shocking.
Their earnings projected to be 1.4 to 1.7 this quarter, I think.
That's what they're saying now.
Yes,
they were projected at
adjusted.
$3 billion. Yeah, that's
their adjusted earnings,
which is kind of a shock. But
like,
supply chain's finally catching up with everybody.
Well, I mean, that's why they're getting screwed, is because it's not.
Yeah.
Because they can't get parts, I
They're
guess.
getting pinched.
Now they got the chips, they don't have actual parts.
I think it's like the emblems that they're waiting on is literally the issue.
Yeah,
it's like the signature stamp or whatever, which to me, like for a stock to be down 20% on just a part issue doesn't quite add up for me.
Yeah, I think it's just because I think Ford is pretty retail based, like investor based.
My gum on the table.
I think Ford's pretty retail investor based in the sense of like it's a lot of retail investors.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious.
Can you look at that stat
yeah,
real quick? So Ford trucks, I've owned, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 F-150s over the last 10 years. Best
like
truck
them?
I've ever had. Yep. I would never drive another truck. 3 reasons why.
Okay.
1, it doesn't drive like a truck. It drives like a sedan. If you've ever test drove trucks before, a Chevy Silverado drives very boxy. Same with a Dodge. The turning radius is absolute shit compared to what the Ford has. Practicality, yes, Ford trucks are not a man's truck. They aren't as durable as a Ram or Chevy or GMC for that matter. They have done a phenomenal job with their user interface when they've adapted to more technology, bigger screens, the Ford app. I think that they're like light years ahead of Chevy and GMC in regards to like the technology component. They just came out with the Ford Lightning.
Well, I saw you on using your app, and I didn't even obviously I don't have a new car, so I have no idea if that's even a thing. And you were like finding your keys, and we were in Minnesota, and then you're like locking it. I'm like, what?
What are you doing?
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cellular connectivity.
The fun fact about I'm going to credit this to Jake because he's a nerd about this, but like that's why Domino's was able to dominate, because they started to become a tech company, not just a pizza company.
Yes.
With their website, all the systems.
Yeah, the efficiencies.
That's
like
how the companies
is the consumer watches the pizza get cooked on the app
as it's just a timer.
Yep.
Fun fact. But that's where the companies are going to get ahead, is using tech.
Well, you look at Tesla; they're a tech company. That's why they're doing so well.
What's another company that's starting to use tech that I'm like, that's genius? Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks. Bingo. Our second love.
So right here it says held by insiders 0.21%, which is not a lot at all, and then 52% by institutions. So I would assume 50-ish
corporate America. Yeah.
Owned
so
by
about 40 to 50% is owned by retail.
And obviously, I don't know if that's extremely reliable, like if that's actually how it works, if it's that simple, but.
So do you think Ford could benefit from going direct to consumer and cutting the dealers out? Because I drove by the BMW dealership here in town, and there was a Ford Lightning on the lot listed for $125,000 or $126,000, when I know for sure that like MSRP or like wholesale cost to the dealership is like 60 grand on the Lightning, 70 grand maybe. And they're able to get that price because of the market right now, which obviously is changing, inflation, yada, yada, yada. What do you think about that?
I think it would disrupt the waters right out the gate, and there would be lots of, I don't know, it would just be very disruptive to the car market. And also, I think it would benefit the consumer. Was that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 100,000%. When people are like, oh, I can order a Tesla and it'll be delivered to my house, it's like, all right, that's just like, that's such a big part of the decision-making process, and to like solidify that decision of like, I'll just order a Tesla because I don't have to worry about.
From a consumer standpoint, you don't have to negotiate. I mean, that's what the bread and butter is of these dealerships, is the negotiation tools. And oh, well, guess what? You can finance it and you can get another $5,000 off, but they're getting points on the back end if they sell the finance. Oh, well, you can just pay it off in 3 months. You shouldn't pay cash. Well, I want to pay cash, sir, because I just know that it's out of my bank account today and we're going to move on.
Yeah, so that's also the thing. I don't want to go buy a new car because I have no experience in that. negotiation.
You don't know shit about cars.
I don't know shit about cars to the point where I feel comfortable, like, and I don't want to spend the time researching and doing that, So it's like,
Just
yeah,
tell
I
me
want
what
to just
it
buy a
is.
Tesla,
Mhm.
regardless if I could go negotiate with another car that's comparable and get it for $10,000 less.
So this is a good okay, let's focus on you for a minute here.
Okay.
So if you're going to go buy a new car, do you have a few reasons why you'd just go buy a Tesla over going to a dealership and car shopping? Like just talk me through this process, because Riley drives an older car.
Yes.
And I want to know your thought process to buying a new car. Let's say you've got some cash and you're going to go buy a new, let's say you've got 50 grand and
Okay.
it's budgeted for a car, not investing, yada,
Yeah.
yada, yada. What does the process look like for you?
Well, to preface, I have no experience at all with that.
Okay.
With buying cars, I do know some dealers, some car dealers. So I have the connections if I needed to
You call a buddy.
be like, hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna go buy this car here. Like, can you help me?
Is
But
it scary to buy a new car? A
well,
little bit, because you've never done it.
dude, I don't even know where to start. I'm just like, let's just buy a Tesla, make it easy.
They'll deliver it to my door.
Deliver it to my door. Order it on the app. I pay the money. Obviously, like, I don't know if I'd buy my first car in cash.
Right.
Just 'cause,
Well,
like,
let's just disregard that.
okay,
Let's say you have the
disregard it.
cash.
Okay. Let's say I had the cash. Obviously that would make things easier.
Right.
So negotiation would not be a stressor as much.
Right.
Because if I already had the cash, I'd probably go try to find a car that's like 30 if I had 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever. I know that's also the thing, man. Like, I know car brands. I know which ones are, pretty good, pretty reliable. But also at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, I'd probably just go buy a Toyota and call it safe,
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Would it be easier to just buy a Tesla?
It would.
That's
but,
kind of what I'm
But it's also like, I don't want my car to just randomly
searching
combust.
for.
I know these cars.
Because I want to compare it to like the direction Ford's going.
Okay. The reason, obviously, the appeal for Tesla in my day-to-day, when obviously I have an older car, so maintenance is a constant thought. I don't want to have to think about that. I don't want to have to be like, oh, is my oil getting too low? Am I burning oil too quickly? I just want to be like,
plug it in, good to go.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of variables that are taken away there. Obviously, the technology is so new, and they're still working out so many kinks. I think I would feel comfortable with owning one, especially where we live. I mean, there's not a ton here yet, so it's like, but also that can be a bad thing because there's not like a ton of charging stations, yada yada yada.
Are you gonna buy Ford on the dip?
I don't know.
Do you have a position in Ford right now?
I think like 10 shares.
Okay.
Or something. Nothing big.
$100.
Yeah, exactly. That's also a pro tip. If I don't want to buy a stock but just watch it, I'll buy $100 worth of it to have it in my portfolio so I can see it. Yeah.
So about 5 years ago, you couldn't do that.
What do you mean?
I mean, you could buy 100 shares of something or $100 worth, but it used to cost money when I was your age to purchase $100. So I would have spent $107 to buy $100 worth of stock, which didn't make any sense because you needed it to grow roughly 20% until you made your money back. Yeah, around that.
Now it's commission or whatever. It's free to trade on the major exchanges, but if you're trading like a pink sheet stock, it's still $6 per transaction.
Yes. So Ford is down.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm not buying Ford on the dip because I'm spending all my money on Starbucks, Amazon, and SpyG.
That's what I like to hear. Starbucks, baby. So I bought 40 more shares or 50 shares of Ford today. I'm very bullish long term. I own the truck. I like the truck. When I do trade it in a couple years, I'm going to get another truck and another Ford.
I would say I'm bullish on it for sure.
Yep.
They pay a little dividend too, right?
Yeah, they've got a decent dividend. Yeah.
Microsoft just 10x their dividend.
3% dividend.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
Microsoft just 10x theirs to 101, 1%.
It's nice because the stock's been going down. That's like the leader in big tech.
Low.
Yeah, big tech. It's I have a good position set up in there. I'm still down average cost wise, but where's Ford going? I think that's a good Good synopsis of Ford.
Yeah, it's a good little conversation of Ford. I was kind of blabbing on the car crap. I'm not
I know.
really
I'm like,
concise
Riley, what
today,
the
but
hell?
yeah,
Like,
sorry.
I'm like, I'm searching, I'm asking questions to get answers, and you're just like, doo doo doo, like skipping along. Let me tell you about my car journey. Trying to get out of Riley that like he would buy a Ford or buy a Tesla because of the direct to consumer, but it really wasn't coming out of you today.
Yeah, I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I need some brain power.
Oh shit, dude! You're drinking water out of a Yeti over there. It should be cafe. Riley, wake up.
Crypto. What's crypto?
Yes, crypto is it's just hanging in there.
I haven't looked at it at all.
MicroStrategy's just bought $6 million worth of Bitcoin.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know the CEO of MicroStrategy's
yes.
stepped down, kind of got removed, and everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero because he was like the biggest advocate. Mainly he was stepping away because he wants to work on Bitcoin and not be so tied to MicroStrategy's, the company. Basically, they were trading one and the same. Buying MicroStrategies basically means you're buying Bitcoin held, on the stock market is kind of the one way that you got to look at it. So anyways, they raised, I think it was like $500 million.
How do you raise
loans.
$500 million?
You just call 3 friends, especially at that level. And
True.
So there was an analyst on CNBC yesterday that was discussing the charts of Bitcoin and how it's looked over the last, I think it was like 6 or 8 months.
Okay.
And you being a chart guy, this is what blows my mind is like the charts kind of never lie. Like every once in a while you have this outlier that happens when you're charting.
Yeah.
And this charting specialist that was being featured yesterday, based on the charts of Bitcoin, and when I say charts, let's say that the stock price moving around on a graphical representation of it, says that Bitcoin could go as low as 15,000. Now, if it breaks through that 15,000, it could easily go to 10,500 is like the other benchmark. And I don't know the charting lingo, but like when you break through.
When you break through a support.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to not keep going down a little bit, and then you'll hit another support and test it.
So there's a support level at 15K and a support level at 10.5 roughly based on the wedge or the triangle that the guy was drawing.
I know exactly what he's talking about. So from a rough look, it seems like
That's what he's talking about.
The first support's at 19.8.
Yep, but we were a couple of days ago. We were below that. We were at 18.5.
Yeah. So, and the next one is 13.8, and then there's also one at 11.6. This is just a rough charting on the app. But let's look back to a year. I mean, obviously, we started the year at 67. That's insane.
Doesn't that hurt a little bit? It hurts me.
Actually, it got down to 17.5.
Yeah. So we're not at
sure, but anyway, so it looks like it tested
that,
and it bounced up.
But it's also forming a triangle down, a downward wedge or something like that.
A descending
wedge.
It
Anyways,
also
the
also
gentleman was.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well,
you're getting a little analytical because you haven't had lunch yet.
Let's see, right here at 56 and 67, that was kind of like a double top, which is a bearish pattern.
Riley, I don't like to talk about bears.
All right.
I only like bulls.
It's crazy though, because like crypto, I guess you can chart it the same.
Well, they've started
to an extent, yeah,
because
exactly.
It's really followed in line. I think it was the S&P 500. Like it has very, very similar charting connections. So my prediction on that is just sit and wait and keep buying Bitcoin because it does this every 3 to 4 years, and this is the third time it's happened, and I've watched it happen. And we will fast forward this video or rewatch this video in like 2 years when Bitcoin crosses $100,000 and I can finally take my laser eyes off my Twitter. It's kind of bothering me because I said that I'm not taking it off until.
Is that why you have laser eyes? I've never.
Laser eyes. It was when Bitcoin was running to 60, 67, almost to 100K. I was like, yeah, I'm going to ride the wave, but
that's funny.
I'm going to stay true to it because I believe in it.
Oh, for sure.
I believe in the technology. Now, from a currency standpoint, we'll see how that all pans out because when the government starts to get involved, they want their hand out. Well, blockchain will be around.
Well, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not buying it because of the currency. Like it's not.
It's an
It's
asset.
not like a stock.
It's an
Like they're
asset.
not buying it because of the stock chart is going to go to $10.
Yep.
They're buying it because of what's behind it, in a sense.
Feels good. I'm wearing a suit today.
Yeah, you look good.
It's been a long time since I've had a suit on.
Look good, feel good.
I put this on this morning. It's just a feeling, dude. Like I wear suits a lot. And the last 6 months I've kind of like been like, I'm gonna just throw on some jeans. No, the power statement of a suit, people.
Confidence.
First impression is everything.
Yep. And
Especially with
it makes you
clients.
confident.
Yeah.
Because you, like I just said, look good, feel good. Like literally. That's why I've been wearing like more collared shirts lately.
Yeah, you've been looking good too.
And I've
Got a
been feeling
haircut.
good.
You look good.
Got the fade.
How's the like diet going?
What diet?
Well, just your eating habits.
I
What
dur-
diet?
during the I was like,
Did
I
you have a
don't-
donut for dinner
I
last
don't
night?
do a diet. During the week I eat pretty good. Like breakfast I'll eat eggs.
Yeah, but are you doing like a paleo diet or anything?
Carnivore?
Yeah.
I was doing animal based for a while, but dude, I mean, that's the one thing that I'm gonna have when I'm older as a personal chef because I love cooking, but it's also like it's painfully time consuming.
Is it the cooking or the dishes that drives you nuts?
It's just everything. Like when I would go grill a steak, from the point of me taking the steak out of the fridge to grilling it to eating to cleaning, I'm like, bro, that's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not maybe that long, but it's just like I can't do that every day. It's
I
not
used to say
sustainable.
the same thing. Like when I can afford it, I'm definitely hiring a personal chef. Still haven't fucking hired a personal chef.
Yeah.
I could probably afford one.
Yeah. Yeah. And also that's the thing, I want to get to the point where maybe I can right now, but like when I can just go home whenever and do that, like, but I don't know. I just don't want to allocate
It's like,
my time
but the thing
there.
is, like, where do you find a personal chef? Because if you, let's say you're paying someone $25 an hour to come cook your meals for you. I mean, breakfast is easy, but like, let's say that you had a personal chef make you lunch and dinner every night. So like at night, they'd make enough food to have lunch the next day. So you're hiring someone to come to your house 3 hours, 4 hours, right? Then would prep the food for the next day. Like, where do you find that person?
I don't
You just
know.
go hire a cook
Personal
from like
connection.
Eddie's, the breakfast shop, and be like, hey,
Literally.
do you want to make
I
the
don't
same
know.
amount you're making and come to my house
I
4
don't
days a
know-
week?
I don't know if you'd want chefs from like restaurants around here because like a lot of chefs are like not chefs, cooks, I should say. They're just they're
They're just cooks.
not being
They're a line
prejudiced
cook.
or whatever. I'm not being judgy, but there's a type of person that is the cook.
Yeah. Well, where do you find someone like that?
I mean,
There's a great idea. Start a business.
yeah, chefs for you,
Employment.
some shit like that. I don't
Chefs
know.
for you. There's our next app coming out. Ooh. Side note, we're going to do a little tangent podcast today. We're all over the map. Thought of this idea when I was leaving the garage yesterday because I found 2 golf balls at one of our properties because it's near the River Club, and they hit them into our building. What would you think if we created a company that was for scrambles only? And I think we talked about this in the scramble.
We did talk about this.
That had,
Tate was on board.
yes, we gotta do this. So we're gonna start a company. I don't know what it's called yet, but it's a ball company that has 3 balls per sleeve, one for driving, one for wedges, and one for putting. So the driving ball is much harder, travels longer distance. The second ball is designed for when you're chipping and putting. And it just says like chip on the ball and then putt on the ball. It's like drive, chip, and putt.
I like that.
And drive, chip, and putt balls. Or scrambled eggs.
Scramballs.
Scramballs. Yep, scramballs. And you buy them for when you play in scramble so you can maximize your distance off your drives.
But it's also like a gag.
Touch around the
A
green.
gag gift.
Yeah, it's like funny, but at the same time, it's like you could actually probably white label like nice golf balls
Yeah.
and like make it legit and charge a premium for it. I don't know. That's just a little side tangent. But
I
we're
like that
talking about,
idea.
ideas, chefforyou.com.
Yeah. That's like I go back to the last podcast. We can have ideas. Don't act on them. They're worth nothing.
IP. I know, right?
Back to the diet thing real quick. I don't have a diet. On the weekends, I'm really bad. I'm trying to clean that up. I mean, if you let me out, I would eat pizza every night.
Dude, I've been like a Pizza Hut king recently, dude.
I'm a Costco pizza guy. All the way.
Ooh, wow,
And
that's
Papa John's.
really greasy.
It's delicious.
It's
It's also
good. It's good.
$10.
So get this. I used to have a Pizza Hut by my house when I first moved in. They wouldn't deliver. So I had to go pick it up. So I used to go pick it up because I freaking love Pizza Hut because they have really good wings, by the way, too.
I've heard that.
And so then I stopped getting it because I had to go pick it up. And then finally I called last weekend and they delivered. I've ordered it 3 times since.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so yeah, Bree and I are moving into a new apartment. Rent's increasing a little bit, so that's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna make up for that without eating out as much. It'll also benefit my health a little bit more. Um, yeah, I'm not too bad. Like last night, I mean, I'm a quesadilla nut. But like last night,
What do you put in your quesadillas?
last night I like cooked some turkey burger,
Yep.
and then I like made the quesadilla with that. So it's like not terribly healthy, but not also terribly.
You just fucking love cheese, don't you?
bad for you.
That's your thing.
In high school, I would come home every day, make a quesadilla, go to the gym. Yeah, for like 2 years straight.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, so I don't really have a diet. I'm working on it.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Well, we got that answer out of you.
Yeah. So what I was gonna ask you, I was actually thinking about it today when I did it, and I was like, I'm gonna ask Blake if he does this. Cold showers.
Good question. I hate cold showers.
What's your take on them?
My wife and I are working on building a new house in the next couple of years, and I want a plunge pool. And I've been on this kick since I first went to a Tony Robbins seminar like 7 years ago, because in all of his homes, vacation homes, he's got a little like 3 foot by 3 foot plunge pool.
How does he fit in that?
He just jumps 4 foot by 4 foot. Is that big enough for you, Riley?
Oh, that guy's huge.
12 feet deep. But he jumps in it every morning. And I think for me, it's an efficiency thing. I'd love to have like a routine with it. Like I've got a really dialed in routine right now. Like Monday through Friday, even on the weekends, I get up at the same time. I get up between 6:30 and 7 every day. Reason being because my daughter wakes up at that time.
I was going to say, Tito would make you get up at that time.
And I've usually packed my gym bag the night before, and I'm in this great routine of hitting the gym first thing in the morning. So my cold shower would take place usually after my workout, and I think that kind of defeats the purpose because I wish I could sauna at the gym after my workout, but the sauna is just disgusting at the gym.
Axiom?
Yeah. They really need to redo that one.
I want a cold plunge and a sauna in my house too.
Yes. And I feel like I would build that into my routine. So I'm huge advocate for it, yet I don't do it yet because I can't find the efficiency in my schedule to incorporate that in. And I know everyone's like, cold plunge, wake up at 5 a.m., read 10 pages a day. Like, you just got to find what fits your schedule. Like, I'm in this routine right now that's just, I'm just dialed in, dude. I've been lifting really well. I've been eating really good. Got to put on about 10 pounds in the next year is my goal.
I got it.
Been getting a little skinny.
I've got to lose 10 pounds.
Whoa, really?
Well, I don't know. I want to lean out a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe not 10 pounds, but probably won't lose anyway, actually, because I'll swap it for muscle.
Yeah.
But I'm like 185 right now. Almost 6 foot.
You got to lift 4 days a week. 5 days a week.
Actually, Jake's writing me a loose workout plan.
Oh, so. Good. Jake knows what he's doing. I see Jake in the gym.
Yeah, Jake's
I lift more than him. No
and
big
deal. And he's also he's writing me like a simple workout plan and a loose diet.
Well, you know what you really need to do is just go to the gym with him.
I know. I told him once a week will work for me for now. Like this morning I woke up. Riley. I went to the gym. I just use our apartment gym. The only thing they don't have are cables.
Yeah,
so I can make it work. But went to the gym this morning, and I only, I make a promise to myself. I'm like, all right, if I can at least get in there for, even if it's just 30 minutes, like I'll do it.
Right.
Right. So I did that this morning, and that's just like we're momentum animals. So if I can just do it once, I'll probably do it continuously.
Getting a little bit of a rhythm.
So like a couple weeks ago, I would just go and do 10 to 20 minutes on the treadmill.
Yep.
And not lift or do anything. Just do that.
Yeah.
Just to get that habit going. But then, this morning woke up, did that, showered, ate, or I did a cold shower. I'm doing.
So are you a cold shower guy?
Yeah. There's not really a reason that I'm doing it besides the fact that I need.
So you just turn it on like fucking cold and then get in there.
The lowest it'll like have the full pressure at the lowest, which is probably still like only 7.
So
it's probably still
do you
70
like
degrees.
Stick your head under the water?
Yeah, face first. I get back. I go in on my back.
Wow.
And then I turn around front.
And
face,
you just do it
hair.
like minute, 2 minutes.
Probably a minute.
And then you turn it hot, and then you wait for it to get hot.
No, I don't do hot.
Oh, it's just only cold.
Just cold.
Oh, interesting.
This morning I was like hot after my workout, so it felt good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And this, granted, is not like a cold plunge because the water is probably still like 70 degrees, which doesn't seem that cold, but it's pretty cold.
It's chilly.
When we're used to like 100 degrees in our shower. But yeah, so that's kind of my theory. There's not really a reason that I'm doing it besides the fact that it's just like the principle of getting myself to push myself.
Yep. Try something that's a little uncomfortable.
Yep, and then applying that to what I do every day here,
Right.
eating, the gym, just kind of
Don't
I
eat
don't know.
pizza in the cold shower.
I used to be super disciplined, and what I've seen lately is I need my habits to take over because motivation and discipline are, well, I guess discipline, but motivation comes and goes.
It does.
And I've never really understood, like, what do you mean rely on your habits? But
Yeah. I think it's also you have to like create excitement around it. Like for me to get back into my like super aggressive lifting, it was like I found some good music. And all of a sudden that like got me excited. And then I also found this routine that like I have this meal now that I make that I eat before the gym that doesn't like bloat me. Do you know like sometimes when you eat before the gym you feel like
Yes.
you're gonna barf the whole gym? It's like this overnight's oats with berries
Yeah.
that I make the night before, and then I get excited because I know that my workout's gonna be worth it because I have energy
Yep.
for my workout.
I did
So
I did fasted this morning. Granted, I wasn't doing anything
see that's good
too
too.
intense. 5 minutes on the treadmill, like incline 12, speed 3.5, and then I did 5 minutes on the stairmaster, speed like 10 or something.
Wow.
All the stairmasters are
but
different,
still,
so this
yeah.
one's like a step every second or whatever. But that's just my warm up, and then I just did some like I did a lot of pull ups and then some like bicep workouts. But I was able to do it all in 30 minutes. I have not had the motivation for the gym in so
yeah,
long.
I know I haven't heard you from that because when we first met, you were like hitting the gym hard and
5 a.m. gym, but that was also trading. So there was a reason I was up so early.
yeah,
Now there's not really a reason to because
your schedule's different.
it's just different and it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do there are days where I'm just like I really need to get in the gym and like I'll feel better, all that stuff. Granted, I was golfing, so like that was still some activity
summer's
here and there.
winding down a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be in the gym more then. And then also,
It's not my wife, it's my mom this time. So I'm gonna step out and take this call. We had a little interruption.
little pod.
Back to the
Bree
pod.
called me too,
Yeah.
so it was perfect.
Moms and wives, they do
jeez.
become.
I already talked to my mom today, so I checked that off the list. Yeah. So the reason I'm doing cold showers is to just push myself.
Right.
Because I've been finding the balance of like pushing yourself hard versus being okay with not doing everything every day. We can like just what works for you in a sense, but also not like being too lax about that.
Right.
So I'm
Because there is something called burnout, and it is real. Like
There's something
you
called
can't.
burnout and being lazy.
Yeah.
I've never been lazy in my whole life, and I think I've experienced some like throughout the year here and there, and it's kind of scary. So I'm like, how do
Ooh.
I combat that? Because
I don't think lazy is the right word. I think comfortable is the right word.
yes, and
Because you're
even-
not a lazy person.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not. But when I like when I'm at home, like I want to do nothing. I don't even want to do my laundry, like all that stuff, which is pretty relatable.
That's lazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I just put in all my energy here
Yeah.
and what I'm doing throughout the day, which is, that's where you go home.
You're trying to get brownie points right now or something?
What do you mean?
Like, oh, I work so hard at the office.
But it's true. Like
I'm just
I
teasing
go
you.
home and I'm just like, I just want to
Unplug for a couple
which
hours.
is fine.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like,
I think that's like fall too.
yeah, oh yeah.
I feel that too. I get home, I'm like, shit, I don't want to do anything.
And like, yeah, I definitely get like the seasonal moods because like getting dark sooner, like it's a transition for sure. I get into the point where I'm like, all right.
Do you go to
I'm
bed
okay with
earlier
this.
when the light dims down earlier? I've been catching myself like in bed at like 9:15 now, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
like,
Brie and I've been getting to bed at like 9:30.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, the reason I've been doing it is push myself. I'm also learning Spanish right now.
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, so
You didn't respond in Spanish. Come on, dude. That's the only way you're
Yeah,
gonna
need
learn
to.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
See.
So I've been learning Spanish, which has been fun. The reasoning behind that.
Yes.
So first of all, pushing myself, getting myself dedicated to something because I'm not going to be able to learn Spanish tomorrow.
Right.
Like it's consistency.
Trying something new.
So I read this thing and it was like, you can become fluent if you do it for 3 hours a day for 6 months, but it's like 3 hours a day. Who
That's
has
a lot.
time to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So right now I'm doing like 30 minutes a day, I would say.
When do you do that?
In the car, I do audio lessons and I also do like it'll be a conversation and I respond. back
Perfect
and
for the
forth
drive home at
Yep.
4:30 p.m.
during the traffic. Because I get through like one lesson doing that, and then obviously at night, right before bed, for the muscle memory, like I stimulate my
Ooh.
brain right before I go to bed.
Yep. So
go
do you
do it.
dream in Spanish now?
No,
Ah, darn.
I'm not that far along. But I do it before bed, and I also will do it like this morning. I went and got a coffee at Slow and did it for 30 minutes sitting out by Slow.
I love that.
Just I needed a little break.
Yeah.
But my goal, like I really just I go to Mexico and Costa Rica like quite often, and I don't see that stopping. And I
Yeah.
also want to own Airbnbs in Mexico one day.
Oh, cool.
So
Shout
knowing the
out to
language,
Natalie Lemus already has one there.
I was gonna say I want to pick your brain about that
Yes.
because I'm working on some stuff. Not working on some stuff, but I'm learning some stuff about like
How to?
what does this look like.
Yep.
So I want to know the language. Also, it's respectful to not expect everyone to know your language all the
That's a
time.
good point. It's a really good point.
And like we're going to my sister's wedding in March in Cabo, so that's kind of my goal. Is like I want to be able to feel comfortable chatting with someone,
Yes.
figuring stuff out,
Ordering food and Yeah.
getting in a taxi, telling them where to go. So that's my goal.
I like that.
So I think that's almost 6 months
Mm-hmm.
ish. So we'll see what I can get. I won't be fluent 100% by then. My goal is to be fluent by the end of 2023, beginning of 2024.
I like that.
The other problem is I don't have anybody here to use it with. My aunt
True.
her second language is English, so but I don't see her that often. So there's
Uh-huh.
not many people that I can like use it with.
See, and that's like the biggest thing is like, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
I think that's very true.
Yeah. So 2023 is going to be a year that I'm pushing myself.
I like that.
And
like
I mean
that.
starting now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Spanish. That's interesting. So, how are you going to present to the podcast that you are fluent?
shoot, I don't know.
Should we have a guest come on that speaks Spanish and see if you guys
Natalie.
can have a conversation? There we go.
Yep.
Teed it up.
I've never-
January.
I've never-
January pod. Natalie comes in. Give you a little bit more time.
Probably, yeah.
Like that.
I've never met
I don't know
Natalie.
if she speaks Spanish though.
She does.
Oh, does she?
Her husband.
Yeah, but
speaks
I don't
Spanish.
think that they. Yeah, they do. You're right.
She does.
You're right.